Buenos días a todos, bienvenidos al concilio. Estamos casi listos para el concilio. El concilio ahora son 10:15 de la mañana. Tenemos 5 miembros presentes. Está llamándose lista. Estamos viendo. Por favor, vengan a la cámara.
Good morning,
Buenos
everyone.
días a todos, bienvenidos al Concilio de la bienvenidos a la Cámara del Concilio, en nuestra Junta del Concilio de la Ciudad por ahora viernes 31 del 2003. El Concilio de la se junta todos martes, miércoles y viernes a las 10 de la mañana. Las juntas están abiertas para el público. Los invitamos a que estén con nosotros. Con miembros del público que no pueden asistir al Concilio de la Ciudad pueden ser vistos en vivo por el canal 35. Pueden ser vistos por vía por la página de web para el teléfono del ahora son las 10:20 de la mañana y tenemos 7 miembros presentes, cortos de un foro. Como es viernes es costumbre, tenemos un número de presentaciones especiales y presentaciones para hacer. Vamos a empezar con la Junta de hoy reconociendo al consejero Wendy Grohl.
Thank you, Councilmember Padilla and colleagues. Many of you either appeared on this show, participated in this show, or also watched it on TV. Secession 101, a public forum that was on Channel 36. We had more than 28 students who participated in this activity. And I said to them this morning that it's kind of unusual that a Bruin would be recognizing the USC students, but they've done an extraordinary job, and I think that the secession debate we had was a good one. The debate that we had about the future of our city, and really an important decision that our voters had to make. And this campaign, and particularly Secession 101, the debates that occurred highlighted the many challenges. And I think the best thing about the show was it told both sides. It had people from both sides of the issue, and let all of us make the decision on our own by educating people about ways we could improve the city. And I think it provided us with a balanced and impartial information. And I know I enjoyed being on that show, and so many of the leaders in Los Angeles had the opportunity to be there as well. And what I'd like to do is have a quick clip of the show that we have now available on Channel 35. If you could roll that now, it would be wonderful. Thank you.
On November 5th, Los Angeles voters faced a momentous decision whether to break up the second largest city in the nation and create the sixth largest city in the nation in the San Fernando Valley, along with the potential new city of Hollywood. The effects on your neighborhood and your daily life could be enormous, but how can you get a better understanding of these very complex issues? That's what this weekly series is all about. We've created Secession 101 to give you as a voter the information you need to make up your own mind.
Pues propiamente está buscando la ciudad más grande del mundo, el Valle de San Fernando, es comparable a la ciudad de
For 4
Filadelfia.
months, 120 days, the rent control ordinance and all other city ordinances remain in effect. After that point, it's fair game.
City workers are going to continue to provide the best quality services that they can provide. And they'll do that now, in the future, whether it's one city or 4 cities or however many cities we're looking at.
You can't just walk up to a wall switch, throw the switch, the light comes on, and suddenly you have a police force of greater than 2,000 personnel. It just doesn't happen that way.
And those grants, why would we compete against each other in these smaller cities when we are going to be much more competitive staying as one great city?
Thank you very much.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
The series totaled 17 episodes, which is almost about a year-long season for a network TV show. Also, the episodes were produced and aired in just a few months. These USC students you see behind me donated an extraordinary amount of time throughout the past fall. And I wanted to take this opportunity today to thank them for the efforts and present them with their certificates of appreciation. This was a high-quality program, a good debate. We decided that Ken Bernstein has a whole new career that he may launch after this. So I'd like to, if you could join me in thanking all of these students, and I'll present real quickly the certificates of recognition of those that are present today. J.D. Crowley.
J.D. Crowley.
Matthew Gilna.
Matthew Gilna.
Monesh Bukandani. Frances Hagan.
Frances Hagan.
And also Matthew
También a
Gray.
Matthew Gray.
I'd also like to
También me gustaría
recognize
reconocer
the staff of Channel
al equipo
36,
del Canal
who
36
tirelessly work to
sin
educate the
cansancio
public about a
educaron al
variety of
público acerca
issues.
de los
We have with us
asuntos.
Steve
Tenemos
Grace,
ahora con Steve
Susan
Grace,
Porter,
Susan Porter
and Meg
y
McDonald.
Meg
Thank you
McDonald.
very much.
Muchas gracias.
And last
Y lo
but
último,
not
pero
least,
no lo menos,
also want to thank Ken Bernstein,
Ken
who
Bernstein,
makes
que
sure that our
estuvo
city is a
seguro de
better
que la ciudad
place
es un mejor
and
lugar.
has enjoyed and
Y ha
created the
disfrutado
idea of the
creativa la
Civic
idea
Forum
del
in
Forum
Los
Cívico en
Angeles.
Los
And let's give
Ángeles.
Ken a
Vamos a
great
darle
big
a
hand
Ken
of
un gran
applause.
aplauso.
Would one of the students or
Uno
someone
de
from
los
Channel
estudiantes
36 like to
Canal
speak
36
to
le
say a few
gustaría hablar,
words?
decir algunas palabras.
Thank you, Councilmember
Gracias,
Gruhl.
concejal
I'd also
Gruhl.
like
Yo
to
también me
thank
gusta dar las
Ken and the
gracias a
Civic
Ken y
Forum
al
for
Forum Cívico
sponsoring what
por
was a
lo que
very
es
timely debate on
un
this very
debate
important
muy
civic issue.
en la cuestión del civil.
Thanks to Councilmember Gruhl for the
al
recognition of the
concejal
USC
Gruhl por el
Trojan Vision.
reconocimiento
They
de la
donated
división
an
de
inordinate
Trojan.
amount of time. The students
Donaron
worked on
mucho tiempo,
Saturdays.
trabajaban en
Most
sábados.
students are
Casi
off for
todos
the
los
weekend. These
estudiantes
students came
terminan,
in
no
every other
trabajan
Saturday
los fines de
morning
semana,
for a minimum
estuvieron
of
cada
3 hours to tape the show and donated their
sábado
time to do
donaron su
that.
tiempo
That was
para
under
hacer
the
eso,
direction
para
of Dean
filmar el show,
Elizabeth
y
Daly, the
eso
School
con
of Cinema
Elizabeth
Television,
Bailey,
and
los de
Don
televisión
Tillman,
y
head
Dan
of
Tillman.
Trojan Vision. I'd
La
also
división
like
de
to
Trojan también me
publicly
gustaría
thank Council President
públicamente
Alex
agradecer
Padilla.
a Alex
His
Padilla,
office
su
staff
oficina,
helped
su
arrange for this
ayudó a arreglar
series to be
esta
seen on
serie para
Channel
poder verse en el
35,
Canal
which
35.
has Spanish
que tiene
capabilities. And so
cabila desde
the
español.
USC
Entonces,
dubbed these
USC
and were sent over to Channel
para
35,
hacer
and
Canal
with Tony
35
Agani's help,
con
these
la
programs
ayuda de Tania
aired
Gana
in
estuvieron al
Spanish
aire en
with
español
SAP
con
capabilities on
SAP,
Channel
con el
35.
35,
And
Canal
finally, thanks
35 y
to the
finalmente
gas company
gracias a
that
la
helped
compañía de
underwrite
gas
part of
que
the
escribió
series,
parte de
and
esta
Kathy
serie,
McGuire for her
Kathy
support
Maguire
of
por
the
su
series.
soporte en
Thank you.
esta serie. Gracias.
Thank you, Councilmember Gruhl.
Gracias, concejal Gruhl. A
The
nuestra
chair
presentación
recognizes
reconoce al
Councilmember Tom
concejal
LaManche.
Tom Lamanche.
Good morning, members of the
Buenos
council,
días,
Mr.
miembros del
President.
Presidente.
With me today are some
Nosotros tenemos
representatives
algunos
of a very
representantes
special
de
group
muy
of city
grupo especial de
employees
empleados de la ciudad
who 25
que por
years ago
hace 25 años
graduated from the
se
Los Angeles
graduaron
City
por
Fire
el
Department's
Departamento de
Academy.
Bomberos de
The
la
fire
Academia, el
department
Departamento de
was
Bomberos,
class
la
of
clase del
January
29 de
1978.
1978.
It's celebrating its
Y
25th
celebraron su
anniversary this year, and it's very
aniversario 25 en
special
este año y
class.
es una clase muy
Over
especial.
97 firefighters originally
97
started out
bomberos empezaron
to come on the job
a
and be
venir al
that special
trabajo
member
y
of
ser
Los Angeles City
miembros
Fire
del
Department.
especial del
The
Departamento
city
de
is very
Bomberos.
proud
La
of
ciudad
all
es muy
their
orgullosa
accomplishments
de
they've
todo
done, and I'm personally
lo que han hecho.
proud because I've
Personalmente estoy
known all these
orgulloso porque
gentlemen
conozco a todos estos
over the
compañeros
years.
durante los años.
Fred Lopez is the
Fred
captain
López es el
of Task
capitán
Force 50,
de la
located in the
Fuerza
Glass Hill
50
Park
que está
section.
en
But
el
during his career,
pero
Fred
su carreta,
Lopez
Fred López
single-handedly found a way
solo
to improve the
solo
water
para
system for
mejorar el
Griffith
sistema de agua
Park
para
when he was in
Griffith
the
Park cuando él
hydrant
estaba.
section. His time at that
Su
particular
tiempo en
era
ese
was
tiempo
able
en particular
to
estuvo
create the necessary work to
el
work with
trabajo
the great
necesario
Department
para
of Water
sacar
and Power
agua,
and all their
luz y
engineers
fuerza y los
to bring
ingenieros para
water
traer agua,
system for fire
sistema
protection
para
that was
protección
never
del agua
there for
nunca había
100
estado ahí
years.
por 100 años.
Fred Lopez stood
Fred
up
López se quedó ahí.
and did
Ah,
that.
no.
Thank you, Fred.
Gracias, Fred.
Also,
También
Captain Joe
Captain Joe
Torrijos is
Torrijos.
tasked Tejera. I'm
Tejera,
sorry, Joe. I just
perdón,
owe you a
Joe.
Joe. I
No me lo
apologize, Joe.
conozco,
Give me
Joe.
a hug, Joe. He is out at Fire Station
en la
5
estación
in the
número
Westchester
5 en
area,
el
the
área de
first
Westchester, el
responding
primer
task
respondiendo
force to
de fuerza
LAX
para
and the
los
Century Boulevard
departamentos
area and Loyola Marymount
aeropuertos
University.
en el Marymount
Joe is
y
on the
Central
truck
Boulevard.
out there
Está en la
and
troca allá
takes
afuera
care of and
y
motivates
cuida
those
y motiva a
firefighters to
esos
serve the
bomberos
city.
que le
Again,
sirven
a
a la
member of
ciudad y
that
es un
class.
miembro
And
de esa
also
clase
Isaac
también
Burks,
Isaac Burks.
Echo Park resident,
Presidente de Copa,
Engine 56.
ingeniero
Can
56.
leap tall buildings in a
Se
single
puede
bound,
subir-
not as fast as a locomotive, but knows how to
subir
stay out of
rápido en un
one
edificio
way,
no como uno lo comentó,
able to be a good paramedic, and also is very involved, not just as a
buen paramédico,
firefighter
no
in
nomás como
the
bombero,
aspect of Griffith Park
aspectos
and the
de
Los
Griffith
Angeles
Park en
River and all that area, Silver
el río de
Lake,
Los
but he
Ángeles,
works with the House
pero
of
habla
Blues
con la
Foundation
casa
and
de House of
brings
Blues, la
young people
fundación, y
into
trae a la
the
gente
House of
joven
Blues
dentro
on
de la casa
Sunset Boulevard to
House of
teach
Blues
about the
para
origins of the
enseñarles arte
blues
original de
and the
los
history and
blues
the
y la
culture
historia y
all
la
behind
cultura,
that
todo de eso,
great part of the
que
American
parte
music
de la
scene.
escena de la
These three
música.
firefighters represent
En el caso de
97
estos bomberos
of all
representan
different class
97
and
diferentes
ranks of the
clases
fire service. And in
del
fact, I met with
servicio,
Chief
y yo
DeLuca, your
repito al señor
classmate
De
this
Lupe
morning,
Sucre esta
who heads up
mañana,
the
que
building program.
es
They're
el
tonight
programa
going
del
to be
edificio, y
celebrating at
vamos a
800
celebrar
North
a
Alameda,
800 Nueva
at the
Alameda,
grandest building in the
edificio más
West
grande del
Union
oeste
Station
de la
attracts
estación de la Unión,
restaurant.
en un
And
restaurante.
it's just
Y eso es
typifies
para
the
identificar
greatness of
la
about our city
gloria de
employees
nuestra
and
ciudad,
our
los empleados que
firefighters
los
and their
bomberos
camaraderie
y
as
su
they work
camarada
together.
cuando
I
trabajan
just
aquí
want to
juntos.
salute
Más
them.
quiero
And I
saludarlos a
know
ellos, y yo
Chief
sé que
Rueda is here today
Rueda está hoy
representing the
aquí
fire chief. I'd like
representando
to
al
ask
jefe
you
de
a
los
few
bomberos, y
words.
quiero que diga
But I
algunas
often
palabras,
said
pero
if you
tan
add
pronto sigo.
25 to 3, you
Cuando
get
si
28. Is that right,
añaden
Sergeant?
25 a 3 son 28,
That
¿no es
means in
cierto? Eso quiere decir que
2028, somebody may be
2028
standing
alguien puede
here
estar parado aquí
talking about 97
hablando de
other firefighters who
otros
graduated from the
97
academy
bomberos que graduaron de
this
la academia este mes.
month as they progress in their
Cuando
service to
progresan
Los
su
Angeles.
servicio
That's
para
the
los
amazing
ese es el
impact
impacto
of people in their
maravilloso de la
careers, and
gente y
they're
sus
not over
carreras,
with
y
their
no han
careers. They're
terminado con sus
still
carreras,
here.
todavía están
Joe's
aquí.
going to still be out
Yo
in
todavía voy a estar
Westchester
aquí en
serving the
Westchester
people.
sirviendo a la
Isaac's still
gente.
going to be
Isaac
on
todavía va a
engine
estar en la
56
Gen
moving around
56
Griffith Park
moviéndose con el
and the
barco.
Silver Lake area. And Fred's
Y
going to be
Fred va a
taking
estar
care of
tomando
things in
cuidado de las
Glassell
casas
Park,
de
as
Glassell
is all
Park
their
como todos
colleagues.
sus
So
colegas.
that's the beauty of it
Esa es la
all.
maravilla
You
de
don't know
todo.
where you
No
are when
saben
you
dónde
start your
están cuando
career,
empiezan su
but if you
carrera,
make
pero
an
si hacen un
impact and
impacto.
make a difference, the
Es una
people of Los
diferencia. La
Angeles
gente de Los
certainly
Ángeles
benefit by
simplemente
it,
se
and you as
beneficia sobre
employees
eso.
certainly
Ustedes
gain
como
by
empleados de
that.
veras ganaron
Let's
por
have
eso.
Chief Rueda for a
Vamos a
few
tener
words
jueves que te diga
representing
algunas
Chief
palabras.
Vermont.
Represento
Thank
al
you.
Chico.
Thank you, Tom.
Muchas gracias,
On
Tom.
behalf of the fire chief,
Por parte del
we
jefe
do
anterior,
have
nosotros
some of the most
tenemos
dedicated
algunos de los
firefighters in the
bomberos más
world.
dedicados del
You have
mundo.
three of them
Tenemos tres de ellos
before you
enfrente de
today.
ustedes hoy.
They have outstanding careers.
Las carreras
Actually, I was in high
maravillosas.
school,
Yo estaba en high
graduating
school,
from
me
high school
gradué
when
de
they
high school
started.
cuando esto
But
empezó.
they have had excellent careers,
Una
public
carrera
service for
excelente,
25 years, and they do
excelentes,
serve as the
y
backbone of our
sirven como
fire
los
department.
huesos de nuestro
Over the past 4 years, we've hired 1,000
equipo.
new
Hemos
employees in the fire
tenido 1000 empleados en el
department. And
departamento
this
de
is
bomberos, y
actually
esto
the
es en sí
backbone who's providing the training
la
and
fuerza de
expertise to
apoyo.
lead those new members. Thank you very
Fuerza,
much.
muchas
Chief,
gracias.
thank you. And now, if you join
Gracias.
with me
Sí, ahora si están
to salute.
conmigo, les saludamos.
Join with me to
Salud
salute
para saludar.
the class
La clase
February
de febrero
1978. It's really January
1978.
29th, but I was off by 3 days.
1929, pero
Come
estuvo
up
3
here and
días.
take a
Vengan
picture.
aquí, tomen un
Let's hear it for the
retrato.
LA
Vamos a
City
ir para
Fire
el
Department.
cuarto de bomberos de Los Ángeles.
Congratulations. Thank you,
Felicitaciones,
Councilmember
gracias,
Labange.
concejal Lamanche.
For our next
Para nuestra
presentation, the chair
presentación, la
recognizes
silla
Councilmember
reconoce al
Garcetti.
concejal Garcetti.
Thank you, Mr.
Gracias, señor
President.
presidente.
Good morning,
Buenos días,
colleagues,
colegas,
members of the public.
miembros del público.
We all have kind of
Todos
defining
tenemos
moments, I
algunos
think,
momentos
in office,
definidos en la
defining
oficina
moments
para
when
momentos
we see a
definidos
community
cuando
crystallize,
la
when
comunidad
we
se
realize
cristaliza, cuando nos
how
damos cuenta de
large the
cómo
city
tan
is,
grande
how
es la
large our
ciudad, de qué tan
communities
grande
are,
la
and how
comunidad
large
son y
their
qué tan
hearts
grandes
are.
son sus corazones.
And indeed, in the 13th district,
En el distrito
I've
treceavo
seen, and I
he
know Tom
visto,
LaBonge
y
in
yo
the
sé que
fourth,
Tom
we've
Labange
seen
en el
how
cuatro
large
hemos
the
visto
need
qué
is
tan
in
grande es la
places like
necesidad en
Hollywood.
lugares como Hollywood.
And we also are
Y
blessed
también
with
estamos
seeing
bendecidos
beacons of
con
hope in our
ver
community. And I think it was October,
en la Valencia, yo creo que fue en
we had
octubre o
about
septiembre,
1,000
tuvimos como
people
1000
that
gentes
turned out to a
que
meeting
vinieron
in
a una
Blessed
junta
Sacrament Church in
en el
Hollywood.
Sacramento de
The
la
mayor
iglesia
and
en Hollywood, el
myself
alcalde
were
y yo
there to hear the
estuvimos ahí
concerns
para
of
oír las
residents
preocupaciones
about
de los
affordable
residentes
housing.
acerca de
When I was a candidate, the largest
viviendas.
forum that I
Cuando
went
el foro más
to
grande cuando yo
also
corrí
was
para
at
la
Blessed
oficina era
Sacrament Church.
en la iglesia
But more than a
Sacramento,
place
pero
where
más
people come
lugar donde
together
la gente
to
viene
speak of their
a hablar de
concerns.
sus
The
preocupaciones.
church,
La
which many of you
iglesia, que
know,
muchos de
is
ustedes
on Sunset
conocen, está en la
Boulevard in
Sunset Boulevard
Hollywood,
y Hollywood.
does every single day
Hace todos los días
of the year
del
work
año.
in our community to give
Trabaja
hope
en la
back
comunidad
to
para dar
people to make sure that our homeless and people without homes are given the opportunity to have services, are given opportunities to have hope in their life, and also so that the so many social justice issues which we face in the city are addressed not just by the few, but by the many, by the entire community. Blessed Sacrament Church first opened its doors nearly 100 years ago, and since then it has been one of Hollywood's and the city's most vibrant congregations. In 1999, church parishioners, along with alumni from several Jesuit universities, restored the former convent, which was located on Selma Avenue, and transformed it into a social service center dedicated to providing services to Hollywood's poorest residents. Operating almost entirely from donations of goods and time, as well as contributions from Blessed Sacrament parishioners, the church's social service center prevents residents from becoming homeless by providing more than 200 families a year with emergency rent and utility assistance. It assists also homeless individuals and families with rent and/or deposit money to establish stable housing. And it provides hundreds of free haircuts a year to Hollywood's homeless. We think of, just the core services, and we forget sometimes the basic dignity or indignities that people live with. And it also provides over 5,000 showers a year to the homeless, sometimes as many as 50 on a given day. These are just some of the examples of the selfless work and the generosity of Blessed Sacrament's parishioners. The center also provides ESL classes, legal clinics, as well as pro bono legal assistance to individuals, naturalization preparation, free meals, clothing, furniture, a food bank, and more than that, friends and hope. So today, I hope you will join me in honoring the parishioners, the volunteers, the staff of Blessed Sacrament Church. I'd like to call forward Father Michael Mandala, a friend, one that's addressed this council before, to say a few words about the good work at Blessed Sacrament and share his good wishes for the folks that are his partners. Father Mandala.
Before we hear from the Father, let me recognize Councilmember Labange for a few words.
No, I just wanted to say I really should let the Father go first, Alex. I think you know that. Father, go ahead, and I'd like to say something.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Labange. Mr. President, members of the Council, Mr. Garcetti, we are in Mr. Garcetti's district at Blessed Sacrament. Part of our parish is also Mr. Labange's district. Both council members have been very supportive of our work, both on trying to raise affordable housing in the community, but then also recognizes the work we're doing with our social services. Here present is Yolanda Lichman, who is the director of our social services. We also have a number of volunteers that work with social services, kids and from our Blessed Sacrament School, the principals here. We have Loyola High School, the principal from Loyola High School is here, and some students from there. Loyola Law School, Health. There are a number of volunteers from the parish and others. What are we talking about? We're in a tough area, tough time. We might be going to war. Pray for peace. The economy is horrible. Pray for a turn in the economy. In the meantime, we're in the shadow of the Kodak Center. And yet, there are people that are living on the streets. We can offer bare services. For the most part, food, clothing, and showers. We open at 10, and there are people lined up at 6:30 in the morning to get those services. The other day I was walking around, and there was a fellow on the street, I thought talking on one of those handless cell phones. There was no cell phone. He just was talking. The other day I was also driving around, and in the neighborhood there was a fellow living in one of the garbage bins, those dumpsters, in the shadow of the Kodak Center. We have a rough time, so we're happy to be of service to the community. We need to do that. We ask for your help if you can, for volunteers or financial help, because we're running on a chewing gum and a prayer and a whatever. And I want to thank Mr. Garcetti and Mr. Labange and for all the support, and thank you very much.
Thank you. And Mr. President, Father, and everybody from Blessed Sacrament and those fine young students, Eric Garcetti, and the great job that you do. I was sitting in the back of that church, and it is a beautiful church, Blessed Sacrament. If it wasn't for the new
Y si fuera
cathedral
por
on
esa catedral
Temple Street.
en la calle Temple,
I think
yo
the
diría que
Archdiocese would have been good to restore all
estaría
of
bueno
Blessed
restaurar
Sacrament as
todo
being
ese
the
sacramento.
cathedral for Los
La
Angeles,
catedral para Los
but
Ángeles.
it's absolutely an
Los
unbelievable
Sabotes
church,
es una
but your
iglesia
community and
maravillosa,
then
pero
the
su comunidad
Loyola
y todo
community, the Loyola commitment
Loyola.
there. Members, I just want to say one of the great things about this country is the value that we have, that we separate church and state. I think it's real important for us as we deal politically. But no church or no temple or no mosque should ever be separated from community. And what Father Mike is doing in Blessed Sacrament is just that. There's no separation between their church and their community. And that's real important. Real important, because they're the ones answering the call. I remember when I first got here, I went out with the great Janice Hahn to Hollywood, to Musso Frank, to Sergio's section. And when we were there on the way out there, we reminisced, because Janice Hahn is from a great, is great in her own self, but also from her political heritage, and the great Kenneth Hahn, who's one of the greatest public servants of all time in any level of government. And we talked about how years ago it was the priests, it was the nuns, it was the ministers, it was the rabbis who did a lot of this work. And now there's very few of all of those roles are being played. But we see a resurgence of that throughout the religious community. Again, I do believe in separation of church and state, but not church and community. Because you're there, you talk about that guy, I saw that guy, maybe not the same guy, but I've seen that guy talking, and there's a guy down at 7th and Alameda who tremendously recites every song that Elvis ever sang. And it's absolutely unbelievable, but yet there's that challenge that they have, which is reaching out, but to connect the young people to the parents, to the teachers, and then Loyola High School. Loyola High School is a great high school. I know Nick Pacheco went to Loyola High School, and a lot of talented people. But that commitment that Loyola has to help the community is certainly to be commended. But you're there as the receiver, so I just wanted to take those few moments to salute Blessed Sacrament and let you know I'm partner, as Eric said, with and most that Eric does in the area. We have an Eric has a tougher part of Hollywood than I got. We all got tough neighborhoods, some to greater degrees, but he's got a tougher challenge. And so we join together to try to work that out. Congratulations to everybody at Blessed Sacrament School, and Father Mike, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Labange. And that day when you were down at 7th and Alameda, there were two guys who knew the words to every Elvis song, right? Okay. If you'll please hold your applause, I'd like to give these certificates of appreciation. There are many more and some folks who couldn't be here today, but I'd like to recognize these. Each one of these certificates really represents our thanks for your work and our thanks for your love in the community. Gracias por su trabajo y su amor en la comunidad. Father Michael Mandala. Manuel Romero. I'm sorry. Ava Squire. Alex Salazar. Scott Bingham. Is Mr. Pacheco back around? His great alma mater, Loyola High School Community Services. We'll get a picture with him, don't worry. Loyola High School, you want to take a photo? Lisa Mitchell. Helen Grady. Monique de Varanez. Phyllis Easer. Mauricio Marin. Anne DeBello. Is it Avi? Avi Miller. Yolanda Lickman. Blessed Sacrament School of Caring Hearts. And Eric Zoltzer. Nick, and just with one last word, Nick Pacheco is going to say something about how great his alma mater and their work is.
Mr. President, colleagues, I do want to share one small story with you about Loyola and my experience at Loyola. And I think anyone who goes there understands this. You know, everyone knows I grew up in Ball Heights, around Salesian High School, Roosevelt High School, Wilson. And when I was getting the freshman tour at Loyola, with one of the priests, I asked him, like I guess most kids in the East Side, I asked him where the shops were, because Roosevelt had electric and wood, Salesian had printing, and so I asked him where the shops were because I was interested in one of the shops. And the priest told me, in his most direct manner, he said, son, at Loyola, we do not make employees, we make employers. And I thought at that moment was the moment that Loyola instilled in me that I was just as capable and ready to be a leader, to be a person in the community, and to be successful. So from day one, Loyola instills in all students that they're capable, they're ready, they can lead. So I want to commend the students, the volunteers who went to Blessed Sacrament to share their knowledge, their wisdom, and to guide young people into more positive lives. I believe that's the Loyola spirit. We're all meant for others, and we really take pride in the work we do in our community. So I want to commend Loyola High School for its program, especially the two youth who were at Blessed Sacrament. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Garcetti. For our final
Garcetti por una presentación final. Hay una más.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, this is the last day of National Mentoring Month. And I believe we not only have human beings, but one furry animal that's going to join us as well. Throughout Los Angeles, people are changing lives, one young person at a time. Throughout Los Angeles, as we just heard, not only do mentors make a difference in changing other people's lives, but I believe it works both directions in transforming their own lives as well. And today, this council would like to recognize all of the people who work very hard throughout the city of Los Angeles as mentors, and to especially recognize a group of those who lead mentoring programs, companies that support mentors throughout the city, and also the people who have the vision to make sure that our young people, at a time of so much violence in our city, at a time of so much hopelessness, do have that ladder out and that ladder up. We had a gathering 2 days ago at the Conga Room, in which we had many of the city's best mentoring programs come together to recognize the good work. And in particular, when you look at something that's just 1 month, I think all of us know the importance in our own individual lives of making sure that mentors are there all year round. Few of us would be here without the mentors. I want to invite one furry friend to come on over here for a second, because all of you don't have to just think about what this past month has meant, but on Groundhog Day, I wanted to let everybody know about Groundhog Job Shadow, and encourage all of you on Groundhog Day to find a young person in your community and let them shadow you. Council members, let them be your shadow council member for the day. If you work for the CLA's office, let them be a shadow Ron Deaton for the day. Let them be a shadow clerk, a shadow sound man, a shadow cameraman. Teach them about some of the job possibilities that they have and some of the ways that they can get involved. And so students and educators, employers, mentors, it's a very easy thing to participate in, and we'll be handing these out. And we look forward to seeing young people throughout the city having the opportunity really to expand their horizon and to learn about the opportunities that they have. In particular, we wanted to recognize the local media partners for the National Mentoring Month, KCBS, also KCAL as well, and Stephanie Medina Rodriguez and Josh Rubenstein, who are here today. Also at HBO, we want to recognize John Murchison, and wanted to present to the Los Angeles Mentoring Partnership leadership, and LAMP is really just that, a lamp throughout this city, providing light to so many of our young people's lives. For all the work they do in coordinating this, we want to recognize Gerald Papazian and Patrice Thurard as well. I want to name a couple other people, and then maybe ask Gerald or Patrice to come forward and say something. But Ferraro is here as well, from our Catholic Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and Los Angeles Mentoring Coalition program, and also David Coben is here as well, and Jennifer Aber and Amanda Collins. So let me give out a few certificates, and maybe Patrice come forward. First, we'd like to recognize, and please, it's an easy thing to say you're for mentoring. It's a difficult thing to take somebody really coordinating day in and day out companies or organizations' commitments. So please, if you'll join me in applauding these folks as I recognize them. First, HBO. Thank you. KCAL Channel 9. And its relative but distinct entity, KCBS. Channel 9. And this, which is our National Mentoring Month resolution, present to Patrice and Gerald and hear from them about National Mentoring Month. Congratulations.
Felicitaciones.
Good morning, Council President, Council members, and thank you, Council Member Garcetti, for this wonderful honor today. It is the last day of National Mentoring Month, and this is the second year of National Mentoring Month, and I feel really good that we're going out with a bang, thanks in large part to CBS 2 and KCAL 9, who, as Council Member Garcetti said, have been our media partners for the last month, airing public service announcements every single day, which include PSA from Mayor Hahn, from anchors of CBS and KCAL, as well as other celebrities and famous people that really believe that mentoring works for kids and are passionate advocates of mentoring for kids. They've also done news stories about the effectiveness of mentoring for kids, and they were present at the event that Councilmember Garcetti talked about the other day at the Congo Room and covered that on their news. And all of this has led to people, the viewing public, calling our referral line to actually make a commitment to become mentors for kids. We have a mentoring line here in Los Angeles, and we represent all of the top mentoring organizations, including Catholic Big Brothers Big Sisters, who are here with us today, including Hollywood Education and Literacy Project, who are here with us today, Fulfillment Fund, Los Angeles Team Mentoring, and several other mentoring programs that are one-to-one team, etc. So thank you so very much for this honor. And
you ever heard a groundhog speak? You won't today. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Garcetti.
Miembros, antes de proceder por la próxima presentación, si puede pedir a la secretaria llame la lista.
Bernstein, Galanter, Garcetti, Gruel, Hahn, Holden, Labange, Misikowski, Pacheco, Perry, Reyes, Weiss, Sign, Padilla, 11 members present. The quorum, Mr. President.
Muchas gracias. El Consejo oficialmente está en sesión para nuestra presentación final y reconocemos a la consejera Nate Holden.
Mr. President, members,
Presidente, miembros,
this proclamation
esta proclamación
is notable
es notable
in that we're providing it to a
en que
person who
probemos a una
has
persona que tiene
made a commitment
hecho
to
una
preserving
obligación para preservar
our planet,
nuestro planeta,
our environment,
nuestro medio ambiente,
our water,
nuestra agua,
our air,
nuestro aire,
our energy.
nuestra energía.
He's a developer.
Es un constructor,
He's an honorable person.
una persona honorable.
Yes,
Sí,
his business is
su
growing,
negocio está creciendo,
but at the same
pero
time
al
the
mismo
business is
tiempo el
growing.
negocio creciendo.
He looks forward
Él ve para adelante
protects the
y protege
environment.
el medio ambiente.
and the people.
y la gente.
He understands that
Él entiende que
one person
una persona
can
puede
make a difference
hacer
and
una
is making a
diferencia y está
difference.
haciendo diferencia.
And that person
Y
is
esa persona
one of the
es
10th
uno de
district
los
residents, Mr.
presidentes
Wally
del
Marks,
distrito décimo Wally
the
Marks,
owner of the
el
historic
dueño del
Helms Bakery. We
de
all know
panadería,
about
todos
Helms Bakery.
conocemos Helms Bakery.
And that property is in the
Esa
10th
propiedad está
district.
en el distrito 10.
What he's doing,
Lo que está
that
haciendo
facility
esa
is
facilidad
absolutely commendable.
absolutamente.
And it's a prototype,
Y es
a
un prototipo.
model of what other business people and developers can do
Negocios y constructores
throughout
pueden
the
hacer
city,
por toda la
state,
ciudad,
and the
el estado y la
nation
nación.
in terms of
En
its
términos
forward-looking
de estar viendo para
ideas and
adelante, esas
protecting
ideas y
the
proteger
environment, all
el
in
medio ambiente
conjunction
en conjunción
with the Department of Water
el
and Power.
departamento de Luz y
Mr.
Fuerza.
Mark is
Sí,
working
Mark
with
está
the Los Angeles
trabajando con
Department
el
of Water and
departamento de Luz y
Power,
Fuerza
Power's Green LA
el
program
programa
to make the entire
para hacer
facility
todo el lugar
solar
solo
operated.
operador por
You know, and
sí
there are
mismo.
people today
Pero
who
hay gente aquí ahí
take on the Department of Water and
agarra el
Power,
departamento de Luz y Fuerza.
but the ratepayers can
Pero
be
el pago se
grateful.
están
And certainly I know they
agradecidos y yo
appreciate
sé que aprecian
what Department of
lo que el
Water and
departamento
Power
de Luz y
has
Fuerza
done
ha hecho
and will do
y vamos
to
a hacer
protect our
para
environment,
proteger
not
nuestro
just for the
ambiente,
people
no
who are
solo
here
para la
today,
gente que está hoy
but
aquí,
for future
para
generations.
generaciones en el futuro.
They're doing an excellent
Están
job.
haciendo un trabajo
We have
exitoso.
Lillian
Tenemos a
Kawasaki
Lidia
there now.
Kawasaki hoy
We
aquí.
know she's
Sabemos lo
right
que
on
ella está haciendo
top of those other guys and make it work.
y lo puede
So
hacer.
when you hear
Entonces,
those
cuando
bad
vienen
reports in
esos
the
reportes malos
newspapers
en
and
los periódicos y
television,
en la
they try to
televisión,
give
te
you a
tratan de darle
bad image to the
una mala
Department of Water and
imagen.
Power. But you're the
Pero
ratepayers,
ustedes son los que pagan
and you
los-
support this
ustedes
program,
soportan este programa.
100%.
100% de ustedes.
Mr. Mark has taken
Mark
advantage
está
of this
tomando
rebate
ventaja de este
program
programa de
that is
rebate.
offered to him by the
Se le
Department of Water
ofrece
and
al
Power
Departamento de Luz
And
y
that the Water and
Fuerza
Power
y el
will offer
Departamento de
you
Luz y Fuerza les ofrece a ustedes
to protect our
para proteger
environment.
nuestro medio ambiente.
He has a solar panel
Él tiene un
on
panel
his parking
solo en
facility
el lugar
at
de
the complex
estacionamiento en el complejo,
and plugs in the attachment for
Emplea
electrical
para
vehicles
eléctricos
at that facility
en ese lugar,
with the carports
con sus
alone.
puertos de carro también.
He will
Él
save
diría,
$5,000 per
se
year,
ahorraría
but
$5,000
not just the
por año,
money,
no nomás el dinero,
pollution,
polución,
water and air.
agua y aire.
protected. In the near future,
En el
the
futuro
entire
cercano
complex
todo el
will
complejo
run
va a correr
on solar energy.
energía solar.
Marx
Ser
should be
marca debe ser
recognized
reconocido
as an environmentalist
como medio ambiente
and someone who
y alguien
recognizes
que
that solar
reconoce que
makes good
solar
business
hace buen negocio
sense in more ways than
y
one.
en muchas maneras
Indeed,
más
my
de una.
pleasure, Mr.
Ahora es mi
President,
placer,
members,
presidente
to
miembros,
present this certificate
presentarle este
to
certificado
Mr. Wally
al señor Wally
Marks for his
Marks por su
contribution
contribución
and efforts in
y
terms of
esfuerzos en
protecting
términos de
our
proteger
environment for
nuestro medio
future
ambiente para
generations.
generaciones en
And
el
with me
futuro.
is
Y conmigo
Lillian
está Lilia
Kawasaki,
Kawasaki,
Assistant General Manager, Department
gerente
of Water and Power. And I'll present it to him, and then I'm sure you want to hear from him.
manager del Departamento de Luz y Fuerza. Le voy a presentar.
Councilman Holden, thank you
El
very much.
consejero
It's a
Holden,
great
muchas
pleasure.
gracias.
You've
Es un
been a
gran
great
placer.
supporter of our
Es un
family,
soporte de
which has
nuestro
owned the property at the Helms Bakery for the past 30
la
years.
familia Helms por
And
los últimos
we
30
really
años. Nosotros debemos
appreciate your
apreciamos
continued
eso,
support.
su
I
soporte.
also want to
También
thank
quiero dar las
Lillian
gracias a
Kawasaki,
Lilia
the Assistant
Kawasaki, la
General
asistente
Manager
general
and her staff,
y su
for
equipo.
we wouldn't be able to
No
do this
podríamos hacer
project
esto
without you.
sin usted.
When we bought
Cuando
an adjacent
compramos
property,
una propiedad
the Beacon
junto,
Laundry Building, 3 years ago,
hace
it put
3
out
años,
19
puso
million gallons of sewage into the
de
Hyperion plant. And because of that, it
drenaje
inspired
al
us
área del
to
Hyperion. Entonces nos
do
inspiró a
something
nosotros para hacer
environmentally
algo
and put it in this
environmental
20
y hacer
kilowatt
algo
solar array and our
sobre
next
kilowatts
120
y
kilowatt solar array at the
120
facility.
rayos solares
It's
en el lugar
forward-thinking,
para
and we hope it
pensar y
inspires
espero que
others
inspire
to
a
join
otros
us
para
and to
estar con
join the
nosotros
DWP Green LA
del
program.
departamento.
So I want to thank you
Entonces
again.
quiero dar las gracias otra
Thank you,
vez
Lillian and
a
Nate, and
Lilia
thank you very
Nate
much.
y de muchas
It's a
gracias.
thrill.
I just want to take this
Voy a hacer
opportunity
esta
to really
oportunidad de
commend
veras
Wally
commendar
Marks and
a
the
Wally
Helms
Marks y a
Bakery
la
to be able
panadería
to
Helms que
be
puedan
a leader in the
ser un
business
líder en
community
la
to show
comunidad de
that you can be
negocios para
good for
poder
the
ser comunes
environment.
para el medio
It's good
ambiente.
for the bottom
Es
line
bueno
business
para los
sense. And in
negocios,
this
sentido de
building,
los
it's
negocios. En
also
este
good for
edificio también
historic
es bueno preservación
The solar
histórica.
installation
La instalación
preserves
solar
the historic
preserva
heart of the city of Los
corazón de Los
Angeles, and we really
les
commend
recomendamos a
Wally
Wally
Marks and
Marks
ask that he
y
spread the
pedir
word to
que
other
pase las palabras
developers
a otros
that
constructores
being
que
green makes
Being
good
Green
sense. Thank you.
ser tiene buen sentido.
Mr. Labange.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. I want to thank you, Mr. Holman, but also Wally Marks the third and all your work in the community there. Should picture take that shot right there with Raymond Kwan, the great city photographer.
El fotógrafo de la gracia. Boom, boom, boom.
Wally, congratulations for your partnership there and that beautiful building, the Helms building out there. To take the extra step to do historic preservation and to take the giant step to do the renewable resources, it certainly is a credit to you and what you do and the councilman of the district. So, okay, thank you.
Tomorrow morning, celebration tomorrow at the Helms Bakery out on Venice Boulevard. And 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be a kickoff. And it'll be a good example, a good demonstration as to what we can do throughout this entire city in order to preserve quality of life for future generations. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Holton. This concludes the presentation segment of today's agenda. Madam Clerk, a first order of business, please. But before then, let me recognize Ms. Perry.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I just wanted to give some recognition to a group brought here today by the Los Angelinos. The Los Angeles Job Corps group, if they're still here, if you would rise, I wanted to say welcome. These are some young adults from the LA Job Corps. They are 18 to 21 years old, and they're here to tour City Hall today and learn more about their local government. And thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, and welcome to Council Chambers. Madam Clerk, first order of business, please.
Approval of the minutes.
Ms. Perry moves and Mr. Labange seconds.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Ms. Hahn moves and Ms. Gruhl seconds.
Before beginning the regular agenda, there are several items to continue. Item number 8, a request from Councilmember Zine to continue that matter to Tuesday, February 4th.
Members request to continue item number 8. Seeing no objection, so ordered.
Also a request from Councilmember Hahn to continue item number 27 for 2 weeks, and that would be February 14th.
Members request to continue item 27, also without objection.
There are 2 appointments to confirm on the agenda. Item number 17 is, concurrence with LA City Employees Retirement Systems Commission with appointment of Mr. Robert Aguayo to the general manager position.
Okay. Members, item 17 now before us. Mr. Aguayo is coming forward as we speak. I have no request from members of the public to address the council on this item, so we shall deem the public hearing satisfied. Members wishing to be heard on item 17. On item 17.
Asunto 17.
Seeing no discussion.
Dígase, no hay plática de ábrase la lista. Cierrese la lista y tablece el voto. 10 sí. Está aprobado. Para adelante, por favor. Felicitaciones. Señor presidente, miembros. Gracias por la presidencia de la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Próximo asunto. Por asunto número 18 es confirmación de la cita de Deborah
to the Metropolitan Water District, and the public hearing has not been held in committee.
Miembros, una vez más, no tiene petición del público para hablar con el concilio. Esto es propuesta. Vamos a hacer la audiencia pública satisfecha. Los que desean saber en esta situación, no hay discusión. Ahora se la lista.
12 and 13 special?
2 y 3. Bueno, estamos ahí.
I just saw 18.
The reappointment of Ms. Peppers is before us.
Está enfrente de nosotros. Está abierta. Cierre la lista. Tablece el voto.
10 ayes.
That is approved. Congratulations.
Felicitaciones.
Thank you very much. I'm honored once more to have the city's confidence in my service on the Metropolitan Water District. I would like also to extend a welcome to council members and their staffs, anyone with an interest in the water issues facing our city and our larger region. I'd be very interested in hearing from and having more of a dialogue with our elected officials, particularly with any of their members, any of their staff members who have an interest in water, the environment, the important decisions that come before us at Metropolitan.
importantes que vienen a hacerse en
Metropolitan every month.
Cada mes.
And I'd encourage a greater dialogue between council and those of us who represent the city of Los Angeles at Metropolitan. And thank you for your confidence in my reappointment, and I look forward to further service.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Mr. Holden, do you wish to be heard now?
¿Quiere ser oída?
Aren't you from Glendale?
¿Usted no es de Glendale?
Yes, Councilman.
Yes.
Well, you know, about 10 years ago, I mean, you confirm, but about 10 years ago, more, maybe 12 years ago, we developed a policy, it's the city council, where development projects were coming online, they had to get a certain clearance because they were loading up our sewer system. And I think Glendale uses it, doesn't it?
Lo usa, ¿no es cierto?
They do.
Yes.
We share,
Sí,
yeah.
sí.
And we had control over what happened in the city of LA, but we have any control over what happened in Glendale in that regard. And from time to time, there was a conflict. Can you envision, in your position that you've been selected and appointed to confirm, whether there be any conflict at all with the water for Glendale, water for LA, and so on?
Councilmember, I appreciate your question. You asked me the same question the first time I was before you.
I don't remember the answer.
My answer is the same. City of Glendale is represented separately by a fine independent appointee of the City of Glendale, and he and I are
on the same board.
Yes, all the member agencies and cities that make up the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California each have separately appointed representatives to Metropolitan. I'm honored to be an appointee of Mayor Hahn. City of Glendale has a separate appointee, and he looks after the interests of Glendale. I do not.
Do you? No, you live there now. You can't tell me that. Now, because I want to understand what you're saying and believe it. There's a time comes that you may have to form a coalition with that person from Glendale, and you won't do that if it does not serve the best interests of the city of Los Angeles. That's why I raised the question.
I try to have a good working relationship with all of my fellow directors on the Metropolitan. We are charged with a broader public duty of looking after the interests of all of our consumers of water that Metropolitan provides throughout the Southern California region. And so we do, on occasion, look beyond the limited interests of a particular city or agency that we represent. But my first and primary charge is to represent the interests of the city of Los Angeles.
How long have you been serving in this board right now? How long have you been serving? 2 years?
I believe I was first confirmed in August to fill a...
So up until this point, you've had some experience, you had some time there. Have you seen any situation develop where there could be a conflict?
Absolutely not. And again, I would very much welcome further dialogue from staff and from council members. One thing I have learned sitting on the Metropolitan Board so far is that many of the representatives on the board of directors, have closer working relationships with their city council than we do here in Los Angeles. And of course, we're a very influential voting bloc within the Metropolitan Board of Directors. So, as I said in my remarks a few minutes ago, I'd be very interested in establishing a closer dialogue with council, either directly or through your staffs. I'm briefed every month by very fine expert staff of the Department of Water and Power, and I learn a lot from listening to them. However, I have an obligation to represent all the constituents of the city of LA. And so far, I haven't heard from any. And all of us representing Los Angeles have very, very important decisions to make ahead. Just to give you an example, next month, I understand I will be having a role in an important vote on fluoridation of water. I've been recently appointed to a subcommittee on desalination. There are votes that we take every month at Metropolitan that directly affect water quality and the economy, the interests of developers, of environmentalists, and all of these are very important concerns on Metropolitan. And I do have much to learn about all of these, and I would appreciate the help of City Council and their staffs. So I appreciate your comments, but I don't perceive any conflict problems. None have arisen so far.
I appreciate you. We want to thank you for your comments. What's your position One final question. What is your position on fluoridation?
I'm sorry?
What is your position on fluoridation?
I don't even know what the issue is coming before us next month, so I'm just in the beginning of my learning process.
Okay, members, again, we have voted on this item. We've disposed this item. It is going forthwith. I have Mr. Labanza and now Mr. Reyes on the queue. The appropriate time to raise questions and issues that have been prior to the actual vote. I'm happy to recognize you to speak at this time, but I ask you to please be brief. We have still 30-some odd items remaining on today's agenda. Mr. Labanza.
Thank you for your service to Los Angeles. Thank you for your comments. And water is the giant issue as we look to the years ahead of how we deal with water, not just in Los Angeles, but in Southern California and throughout the state. I just want to thank you for your awareness, and I'll thank you for your offer to us, and I will be engaging with you to discuss issues. The city of Los Angeles is a partner in the development of the Metropolitan District under the great tenure of William Mulholland, and now we have to continue that role to make sure the city's interests are met, as well as working cooperatively with cities and counties throughout Southern California. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, President. I will be brief. I just want to also offer my thanks and hand in working with you, with MWD. As you know, we're trying to look at this from a regional point of view, given our watershed issues. But I see in your resume you have extensive background on many other salient social issues, dealing with immigration and seniors, and you work with the unions in home care. So our quality of life is connected with our water quality. So understanding those politics and how to move forward, look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again forthwith on this item. Thank you for your service. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Next items, Mr. President, items 1 through 16, items for which public hearings have been held.
Members, items 1 through 16 now before us, with the exception of item number 8, which has been continued. Hearing has been held on these items. Motion from the floor would be required to reopen the public hearings. Seeing no such motion, members, are there any specials? Ms. Perry?
Yes, Mr. President, I wanted to continue item 7 for 2 weeks, please.
Okay, members request to continue item number 7 for 2 weeks. Is there any objection? Seeing none, item 7 shall be continued. The new date would be February 14th. And we do have some cards on item number 7. Kenny Jones and others representing the East 60th Street Youth Center. Please be aware that we're not going to act on this item today. We'll be back 2 weeks from today on this item. Members, any other specials?
12 and 13, Mr. President.
12 and 13, call special by Mr. Holden. Any other specials? Items 1 through 16, any other specials? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please open the roll on the balance of the items. Please close the roll and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Those are approved. Items 1 through 3 being ordinances do carry over for a second reading. Next items, please.
Items 19 through 26 are items for which public hearings have not been held.
Members, items 19 through 26 now before us. Seeing no request from members of the public to address the council on these items, we shall deem the public hearings open and closed. Members wishing to call any specials. Items 19 through 26. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please open the roll. Please close the roll and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Those are approved. Next item, please.
Going back to the items called special, item number 12 was called special by Councilmember Holden, and Public Safety Committee has waived consideration of that matter, and CLA recommendations have been distributed to the council members.
Okay, again, Public Safety Committee has waived consideration of item 12. It is now before us, and I do not have requests from members of the public to address the council. So for the record, public hearing is satisfied. Mr. Holden.
We should have a report on this. The report is incomplete, so I'm told.
Okay, and before we continue, Mr. Holden, before we continue, we have temporarily lost the quorum. We're down to 9 members. Guards, can we check the hallways, please?
We can take it.
Maybe they should put it over into Tuesday. Mr. President? Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. Holden?
Is it possible to continue these items to Tuesday when you have more people here?
Okay, I'll go with the will of the body. Is there any objection to continuing items 12 and 13?
Tuesday.
El martes.
Mr. President, point of order. This is going to be in court on Monday, so we can have, by the time we hear it, after it's already been presented to the court, it would be after the fact. So this is a report to us today. I waited out of committee. There is nothing in here that we haven't seen before because we have been getting the monthly status reports on the consent decree. But I think it's twice a year, we go before the court and give them the summary of the cumulative reports of what we're doing. That's what this report is.
Please. When did we last report to the court?
Mr. Sikowski, we're not going to engage in discussion at this time. We do not have a quorum. As we're attempting to regain a quorum, let's hold our horses here. If we regain a quorum, we'll continue the conversation. If not, it's a moot point because it'll be continued to Tuesday regardless.
Huh? I need. No.
Can I tell you a good story? Last Friday, I went to San Diego. I catch the 5:10 surf liner to go to San Diego. And you know what's great about our jobs? We're able to greet people and welcome people. And there I was at Union Station sitting in that grand hall. And in walked a nun. She was walking into Union Station, so I said, "Hello, sister, welcome to Los Angeles." And then I didn't do this before, but now since I'm a council member, I say, "I'm Councilman Tom LaBonge. I want to welcome you to the City of the Angels. Where are you from?" She's from Mission San Jose. Sister Marie Victoria. And I said, "Welcome to Los Angeles, sister." And then she said, LaBonge. I only mentioned my name once, and she's about 83, 84 years old. LaBonge. Is that Bob LaBonge? And that was my father. Now, the kick is, she went to St. Agnes at Vermont and Adams in the 1930s. And she was in a lower grade than my father. And she had remembered my father, not that he was an athlete, but he was a writer. He ultimately was a writer for the Times and the Tidings in his years. And he unfortunately died in 1971. So it's absolutely amazing to meet someone who knew your parents when they're gone so long, but also remember for their school days, and also to be so nice to greet, when we greet people and welcome them. Then she blessed me there in front of everybody, as a good old nun would do, and she was on her way. And I want to also let you know I did have a loaf of pumpkin bread in my bag that I gave to her to welcome her to Los Angeles. So that was very exciting to greet people. So it's always the great role that we have as members of the city family to greet people who come to Los Angeles and get this opportunity to do that. So that's the story of my beginning of my trip to San Diego last weekend. It was fun to be in San Diego. San Diego does a lot of good work in revitalizing their central part of their district, as we try to do that downtown with our district and the work that they do. Had an enjoyable time and had a good meeting with some folks down there and had fun Sunday at the game. And the team won. Now look for Mr. President. You need to know what I did on Saturday. Got up Saturday, took a cab out to the San Diego Zoo. Beautiful zoo. We have a great zoo. I think a prettier zoo than they do. They have more hills there. But had a wonderful time at the San Diego Zoo. It was beautiful weather. Encouraging people to visit the zoo in Los Angeles and also San Diego. But it was good to see the San Diego Zoo and enjoy that aspect of things. And then what was so nice, and I'm going to Sunday now, was the sunrise. Sunrise, beautiful over San Diego. You can see the hills of Mexico. It was absolutely beautiful, the Coronado Bridge. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. And then went out to the stadium.
vi el juego y regresé a la oficina por un tiempo. Entonces, viernes, sábado, domingo, necesitan algo más. Eso no sé si va a estar aquí en poco tiempo. Es confirmado que ella está regresando al consejo. Cuando regrese vamos a tener un quórum otra vez y podemos continuar el negocio de la agenda.
members, let's welcome back Ms. Perry, bringing us back to 10 members present and a quorum. The council is officially back in session. I want to thank you all for your patience. I know it's Friday. We have places to go and things to do, but we have 2 items left on today's agenda. Let's bring those to closure and continue. Mr. Holden.
Quorum. I call a quorum. I don't see Ms. Hahn. Will you hold my time while we call a quorum? See you.
Mr. Deaton, let's go.
Mr. President, once again, I call for a quorum call.
She's right here. She's right
where?
The other side of this wall.
She's talking to Mrs.
Mr. Holden, if you don't want to continue, your clock's going to roll.
Yeah. Mr. President, I have a right to call this a special.
I understand.
And I've done that. And what you're voting on, for something that's supposed to be reported to the court on Monday, is a draft. We don't vote on drafts. But anyway, tell us what's in this draft, Mr. Dean.
This is the semi-annual report to the court on the conformance to the consent decree. Essentially, we have been reporting on a regular basis. It is a compilation of that information. We are recommending that in some cases, the police commission take actions relative to search warrants, arrest procedures, etc. But we have, this is essentially a compendium of what we have been reporting over the last several months. And we're requesting that the council, based on the stats report, send this on to the court as of Monday, which is the deadline, and we would we believe this has been in connection with the police department, and we have also coordinated, and we've discussed this in these items with the independent monitor as well.
What items are you out of compliance that you can't say you're in compliance?
I didn't say that.
You already says it in this report.
No, I said that we...
You didn't say it, but the report, this draft report says you're not in compliance. At least 24 of the items that you require to be in compliance.
On the attached document, which you
partial
have...
compliance, non-compliance. You reported partial compliance 6 months ago. What you've been doing for the 6 months. That's why this report should have been to us a month ago or 2 weeks ago. We don't have the report, Mr. Dean, and that's the problem. I mean, I'm not trying to hold this thing up, but you got to be fair to the court, if not even to the people.
There is, in my view, no surprises in this report. When we have been in non-compliance, we have reported accordingly, and when we are in compliance, there are no surprises to the court or to the independent monitor relative to these.
I know that my time is running as you asked the question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We believe that this is consistent with what we have been talking about and reporting to you and to the court and via the independent monitor for the past 6 months. Granted, we are not, and we have not claimed to be in conformance with all parts of the consent decree. This is and we are reporting accordingly. And what we've been doing is...
You have the use of force, for example, item number 69, it says partial compliance 6 months ago, partial compliance today. How do you explain that nothing's been done to correct that problem since the past 6 months? Well, I'm going to run out of time, so you guys won't be able to answer the questions anyway.
Mr. Holden, you're going to have your time. Just get back to your question. Let's move along.
Thank you, sir.
The paragraph 69, we have made progress on. We have approximately 1,800 non-category.
Well, I know you are, but I'm just saying your report here that you reported to the court on Monday says that the status of that requirement in the consent decree is status quo, non-compliance.
It is. It continues to be non-compliance. However, we have made substantial progress. When we reported to the court on August 1st of 2002, we were getting approximately 30% of our investigations done within the 14-day time frame. Today, we're at about 85%. However, that is not compliance. Compliance is 95%. So we continue to make progress and make improvements. However, we have not yet achieved the final goal. We do need to achieve that final goal within the next 18 months in order to ensure that we have an opportunity to close the consent decree within the 5-year period.
What other areas are you not in compliance?
We are in non-compliance regarding search warrant application issues. As indicated in the report that you have, there is a concern that we have not made as much progress as perhaps we should have in the last 6 months in making improvements. We have made improvements, but we're not achieving the goal fast enough. And so that is why we are looking at enhanced reporting over the next 6 months to make sure that we're better tracking those remedies, that they're getting in place, and that we're ensuring that they're working. So we are not in a place where we will not achieve compliance within the 3-year period. We are in a place where we need to track a few things a little bit closer.
Mr. President, members, I understand the urgency of the matter and why you want to go to court on Monday, but I can tell you this. This report is flawed, and it's designed to deny the members of the council the right to really study in depth. And this is a clear example of what term limits will continue to do to us in the future. It's wrong, Mr. Deaton. You know it's wrong. You got 24 areas where compliance is questionable. Of the 104. That's 25% that is not in compliance. Of each item that's specified within the consent decree that you have to show, indicate you have to be in compliance.
The consent decree did provide us 3 years to achieve compliance. It was understood that it would be a process. We are now a year and a half into that process. We are making progress. We need to monitor a little bit closely.
But you're not on schedule.
I think we are on schedule. We just need to make sure that we continue to be on schedule because our time is getting smaller
I
and
won't belabor the
smaller.
point. The report says it's a draft. I don't have the final report. You know I don't have the final report, right?
Yes.
And it's going to be due on Monday, right?
Yes.
Why the council is not entitled to it today? Certainly the committee didn't have it. The committee waived the need for a report. I would not have done that if I were in the committee. You can't do that. In fact, go ahead and do what you have to do. It's flawed. I hope the court will look at it and study it very carefully and reprimand you for being out of compliance. And I'm voting no.
Previous question on the Terminator. Please close the roll and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Okay, previous question is called. That ends discussion. Madam Clerk, please open the roll on the item itself. Please close the roll and tabulate the vote.
9 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, that is approved.
Está aprobado. Para adelante, por favor.
Next item, Mr.
Mr.
Holmes.
President, some council person leaving item 13 is not essential for today. We can report on that on Tuesday. I will hold it over.
I would continúe eso hasta el martes.
Members, without objection, item 13 is
Asunto
continued to
3
this
está continuado hasta
Tuesday,
el
February
martes,
4th.
febrero 4.
Madam Clerk, next item, please.
This is the time for comments from the public on items not on council's agenda.
We have one speaker card today, Mr. Leonard Wayne Rose Jr.
Good afternoon, board member. Leonard Wayne Rose Jr. I'd like to talk about election that's coming up this year. I hope you guys run an election this year, a councilman, councilwoman, and I hope the mayor, Jim Hahn, run again too. And this few things I'd like to have you guys build more city bus and more business, you know, where people get jobs and more property, you know, homes in the citywide, and then have a spotlight in Youth Monthly newsletter, what happened in our cities, you know, and new job to the community, expanding senior citizen program, no new taxes, a 40 reduce in crime, get the crime down in our city, and housing rehabilitation project, have more youth carnival this summer, coming up, have carnival at Park and Catholic Church, and have a home education award program like Clean Home, who have the best award, like Christmas lights, if you like the Christmas lights homes, then the repair neighborhood to experience a storm drain problem, and then have continue to lower crime citywide, expand youth program, and then a bonus budget every year. And you could have a website where they can contact your office. And thank you for John Farrar, over 5 years ago, and Board of Supervisors, Senator Bob Boxer, Dan Feinstein, Doris Gray Davis, and Elder PD. And President of the United States, I thank him, passed a law, helmet law for the kids under 18 years old, must wear helmet.
Thank you, sir.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Like copy, next time when I
La
come back
próxima vez cuando regrese, la próxima vez. Muchas gracias. Acá tienes una copia. Muchas gracias. Eso concluye el comentario público de la
Madam Clerk, let's do housekeeping.
Council has motions for posting and referral. Councilmember Pacheco requests to be excused for city business Friday, February 7th to leave at 11:30. A motion is required.
Señor Reyes, se mueve, señor Pacheco está excusado y eso limpia el escritorio. Miembros, ¿hay algunos anuncios hoy?
Announcements.
Anuncios.
Adjourning motions.
Mociones para terminar. Por favor, párense.
Members, please rise.
Por favor, levántese.
Members, please rise.
Miembros, por favor, levántese.
Adjourning motions.
Moción para terminar.
Mr. Holden.
Señor Holden.
Mr. President, members,
Presidente, miembros.
just last evening at a
Esta
restaurant,
noche en un restaurante
I learned from
supe
the
de
sister of
la hermana
Stephen
de Stephen
Walt Ruffing that at an early age of
que a
39,
temprana edad de los 39
he passed away
murió
unexpectedly.
de repente.
He was born in
Nació en
1963, June the 7th.
1963, junio 7.
He was an artist,
Él era un artista
and she showed me
y
some of
me
his
enseñó alguna
artwork.
de su trabajo de él.
She was saddened by
Y estaba
that
triste por eso,
experience
de que
that
la
she
experiencia que
had suddenly
ella de repente
had to come to grips
pudiera
with.
venir con eso.
He worked in the motion picture industry as
Industria de la
a
farándula.
rep. He was a member of
Presidente era
Local
miembro
80,
del local
enjoyed
80,
riding,
disfrutó
fishing,
andar en
motorcycling, riding,
bicicletas,
making furniture and photography.
hacer
But he was
muebles y
also
hablar. Y tal también era
a painter,
pintor,
well known throughout
bien
the area in
conocido
which he
por la
lived.
área donde vivía.
The family,
La
to the
familia,
mourn his death, I never saw anyone who's
velar su muerte,
so
nunca
distraught
había nadie tan deshecho.
in front of me
Enfrente de
by
mí,
the passing of her
por
brother.
la muerte de un hermano.
She has one brother
Ella
left.
tiene un hermano que le
And
queda.
then she sat
Y
there,
cuando se sentó
and
sentada ahí,
I trying to
y trate de
console her
consolarla
for a period of
por
time.
un periodo de tiempo.
I shared my experience
Compartí
with
mi
her as
experiencia
well,
con ella también.
and letting her know
Dejarle saber
that she
que
had other people in
tenía
the
otras
world who were
gentes en el
similarly
mundo que
situated,
situaciones
and that
similares.
whereas
Y
I could not
que yo no podía
understand
entender
when people were
cuando
telling me
la
of their
gente decía
experiences
que la experiencia
that were so finite
que
before,
eran finales.
I understand it
Yo
now.
entendía la hora.
And I explained to her
Le
that
expliqué a ella que
I share
yo
her
compartía con ella
feeling. And
sentimiento.
of course,
Y
she
claro
said it
que
made her
ella
feel
dijo que
better
le hacía sentir
to
mejor.
know that she was able to
Saber
meet
que
with
ella
me
podía
and
estar
talk with me.
para hablar
And I
conmigo.
must tell you that
Quiero decirle que
I asked one
pedí
question.
una pregunta.
Somebody came to the table
Alguien
and
vino a la
says,
mesa y dijo,
but he's in a better
pero
place.
está en un mejor lugar.
And you've heard that before.
Ya han oído
They're
ustedes
out of
eso.
their pain. And she said,
Ella dijo,
I don't want. I said, you don't like that, do you? She says, no.
Yo no
I
me
said,
gusta
I know
eso.
how you
Yo sé
feel.
que no.
You want them with you.
Lo quiere con
You want
usted.
them here.
Lo quiere
And it's
aquí.
out of your
Pero
control.
cuando
You
está fuera de
can't
su
do anything
control,
about
vino
it.
a nada
And I
para
said,
hacerlo.
it's final.
Le dije, es final.
But you know what? You
Pero
must
¿saben
go
qué?
on.
Debemos de seguir.
And I did all I could do
Y
to
lo que hice
inspire
para
with what I
inspirar
had
lo que
left.
me quedaba.
Anyway, I asked that we
Porque me
join
lo
in the
planteé
memory
que
of our
tenemos en memoria de
beloved brother,
un hermano,
Stephen Walt Ruffing.
Mr. Garcetti.
Señor Garcetti.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I would ask today that we adjourn in memory of Morris Birkin, who is the grandfather of Joshua Kaminsky, who you're all familiar with here as one of my legislative deputies in council, who died today. Morris Birkin fled Odessa with his mother and 4 brothers following a close pogrom that killed his father and many other family members in Ukraine. After living briefly in Constantinople, he and his family were brought to the United States by relatives in Chicago, Illinois. And in 1937, he met Diane Katz on a blind date at the College Inn in downtown Chicago. Next year, they were married. They lived in Chicago until 1961, when they moved with their daughters Adrienne and Edie Birkin to Lincolnwood, Illinois. Morris opened up the Roosevelt Wine and Liquor Store on Roosevelt Street and ran it with his family assisting for many, many years. He's survived by his wife Diane, his daughters Adrienne and Edie, and his grandchildren Joshua and Tanya. May he rest in peace.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes, I'd like to adjourn in memory of Guadalupe Galindo. She was Gloria Soto, Mama Gloria Soto, who was a real activist around the Belmont area. Ms. Galindo was born in San Pedro, California, and was one child in a family of 10. Her family were migrant workers and lived in Gilroy, California. She and her sister loved to sing and were duet singers known as Delgado sisters. Ms. Galindo was a cannery worker in the 1950s. She married Angel Garcia, who came to California as a migrant worker as part of a Bracero program at Southern Watsonville. Ms. Galindo was a strong Pico Union supporter and cared very much for our political party. She was a friend of neighbors and was a member of the Parkview Neighbors Association. Ms. Garcia was also a member of the Guadalupana Women's Group at Immaculate Conception Church. She was missed by her family and friends. Council members, I also like to adjourn in memory of Luan Sala Baeza. Luan was born on July 28, 1937, was a dedicated nurse, willing to take care of the elderly during most of her career. She single-handedly raised 5 children after going through 2 divorces. She is survived by 2 former husbands, Julio Natahiro, Hilbert R. Baeza, 4 loving sons, Raymond, Robert, Richard, and Hilbert Jr., 6 grandchildren, Hilbert, Paul, Elizabeth, Sarah Michael, Megan, and Chelsea, and 3 dogs we call Bear, Mitzi, and Stan. And finally, I'd like to return in the memory of Ramona Haro. She had 37 years of service in the city of Los Angeles. She retired while working as the Planning Commission Secretary. She was a dedicated employee who worked endless hours during commission days. When I was working in the planning department in the late 80s, she was the one that was there way after 8 p.m., 9 p.m. just getting for commission, carrying all the case loads, so it is an honor to recognize her service. She's survived by her husband Isidro and son Adrian, Tony Estrada, a former employee in the office of Councilor Benson's office for his sister, and she currently works in City Attorney's office. So I'd like to do this on behalf of Councilor Bernson as well.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Ms. Misikowski.
I would just like to be on Mr. Reyes is right. She and I worked long and hard in keeping the commission on track. She was at every commission meeting helpful to people coming in, wanting to speak, needing to know what was going on. She was an exemplary city planning department employee who really reached out long before local councils to community groups, to everyone, to help facilitate access to and ability to speak to the planning commission in areas of concern to local neighborhoods.
Otros tributos.
Clerk, please call
Por favor, usted la lista.
Thank you all very much. This meeting is
Muchas
adjourned.
gracias.
You are watching LA City View, Channel 35. Your city, your channel.